Hello everyone, welcome to 2019 Monozukuri Hardware Cup. We connect the startups here from Osaka to Pittsburgh, the robotics and AI hub where startups are really challenging how we live, how we produce, and how the industrial hub is going. So we would like to, first of all, congratulate all participants, all startups that apply for the competition, the ones who are pitching here today. I think that being a startup is already hard enough. Being a hardware startup, much harder. And being a hardware startup in Japan, it's almost impossible. So I would like to ask you all to give a big applause for the 8 startups who pitched here today. So what is Hardware Cup? It's like a World Cup from soccer, but here we're selecting one startup that will be representing Japan in the Pittsburgh Hardware Cup, which will happen in May. So then this startup will be competing with startups from Canada, the US, Israel, India, and also from Korea, who are really challenging how startups are really approaching real-world problems, how their business models are, the technology they're using, and how potential the market they're trying to enter makes sense or not. So here today, we are using the same criteria to judge and to select the startups that came to introduce us today. And I would like, first of all, to introduce you to the CEO of Monozukuri Hardware Cup Consortium, the organizer of the event, Narimasa Makino. Please give him a big applause.
Thank you. So it's to be great to be here. So I'm Makino, and so the chairman of the consortium, and so the CEO of the Makers Bootcamp. So we started this consortium, the Monozukuri Hardware Cup, and so 3 years ago to promote and cultivate the mindset for Japanese hardware startup company to the global market. And at this time, and so the 28, the company that applied this pitch contest. So we selected the 8 startup company. And before this session, and so we ran the Hardware Cup. And all the Japanese startup company made a presentation in all English. And because in the Pittsburgh, so you know the final, the all English, the contest. And so we try to change the mindset, Japanese entrepreneur to be the global. And so I want to say that the sponsor. So if the sponsor support this event, so we cannot run this event. And so gold sponsor, still sponsor is the Hankyu Corporation. Thank you for the sponsorship. And the next, and the Tsuneishi Group. The Tsuneishi Group, and so thank you for this competition. Thank you. And the next is the bronze sponsor, the Kyoto Makers Garage. The Kyoto KMG, so thank you for this competition. And next is the Monozukuri Nihon Kaigi. It's the corporate and run by the Nikkan Kogyo Shimbun. Thank you for the Monozukuri Nihon Kaigi. Thank you. And next is Air Liquide. The Air Liquide is from the French, and so they want to support and so Japanese startup company to be the global. Thank you for the Air Liquide. And last one is the Sumitomo Corporation. The Sumitomo Corporation, you know the trading company, so they want to promote Japanese startup company to global. Thank you for the Sumitomo Corporation. Anyway, and so this time, and the 3 judges in the selected 3 company, and so very hard to select in the company.
I would like to call here to the stage the head of the judges today, represent from Air Liquide Japan, one of our sponsors. I would like to introduce you and ask you to give a big applause to Paul Kim.
Hello, everyone. It's always nice to be here in Osaka. I've been working with Makers Bootcamp for 2 years now, and it's my 2nd year as participating as a judge. Every time I'm here, I'm very impressed by the passion and the ideas and really the entrepreneurship that these Japanese startups display. And this year, as usual, it was not very easy to pick the top 3 startups. One thing I want to say about hardware startups is that there is a lot that goes into starting a hardware business, because you have to consider manufacturing process, you need to consider materials, IP, and nowadays hardwares usually come with software anyway. So hardware startups have so much more to go through, and that's why I show a lot of respect to all these startups who are jumping into this topic of hardware. Having said that, what's interesting for me is that if I put every single good aspect of each competitors and put it into one great startup, I can see that this startup can be the best, the God startup. But the thing is, they're all unique and they have different approach, different philosophies. So it was really tough for us to narrow down to 3. But I'm not gonna make you wait for any longer and start to announce. Do I have the honor of announcing?
Yeah, you can start with the third place.
I'll let you announce the first one. Cool.
So you can start with the third place. So just remind that only one startup, only the first place will compete in the finals in Pittsburgh. But the sponsors and the Monozukuri Hardware Cup will give the chance to the second and the third place to join the tour, meet investors, and have a booth at Alpha Gear Lab finals in Pittsburgh. So that's also a chance for those hardware startups to really understand what involves a global hardware startup out of Japan.
So what is one thing that you can think of when we talk about Japan? It's robots, right? So this company has very special, unique technologies to increase the capability of robots. The startup is called Sela Robotics.
Sela Robotics. So our CEO, Narimasa Makino, will give Sela Robotics the third place award, and they will get part of the expenses in order to travel to Pittsburgh and join Hardware Cup with us. Thank you.
All right, the second place, this startup has really put a lot of effort into design. And we believe that design, especially for hardware, is really an essential part of having good product, consumer-oriented product. And they actually came up with their own term called MUI, and it stands for Material User Interface.
So come to the stage, second place, Muy Lab, Kaz Oki. So the second place will also have the chance to have part of the expenses covered by our sponsors. So then they can join the Hardware Cup group and the investors and all our Japanese corporations joining us for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No,
So about the first prize winner, this company is actually working with what's called retrofitting. So developing something to make it integratable into our infrastructure that exists already. And they have this unique idea that all the judges thought it was quite special and unique. And I hope that this is something that we can see in the future as a part of everyday life product. And I'll let Makino-san announce the winner, and the winner is?
Okay. So winner is go to Stark. Congratulations. The Ueda-san, come on the stage.
So the first place, Stack will have the chance to compete against global startups from United States, also from Canada, Israel, India, and South Korea, all together in May in Pittsburgh. And we are very happy to be able to support them on the way there and help them to get prepared, because it's not going to be easy. Would you like to give you a chance to say a few words?
今ですか Thank you very much. Thank you. ごめんなさい。全然喋れないな。Thank you very much. もう一回言いました。はい。
So there will be a lot of practicing to do, and I mean we're all here to support. So we're gonna make him a good presenter, especially in English, to global audience. And I mean the presentation style was not really of our criteria, because it's the idea that really was brilliant, and we're just gonna make it perfect for his next round, the real finals.
Google エアコンつけて。
アレクサ、おやすみ。
おやすみなさい。ゆっくり休んでくださいね。
So now we would like to call all the 8 startups here to the stage so we can have one photo of the group, and hope next year we have more applicants. And if you are here, large corporation interested to join us, we are still selecting the corporations to join us to Pittsburgh and New York for Hardware Cup. So if you're interested, just come to Makino-san and I. We have this Makers Bootcamp shirt. We are helping to organize this tour. And thank you for your support. And also the judge, Ellen.
Congratulations, so go down. Yeah, the Monozukuri Hardware Cup, and so we will run the next year. Please join us. So thank you.